Every Olympics in some shape or form has faced problems, often less, others more. Few have even faced existential crises. For instance, in 2016, Rio declared a public calamity as the Games were staged during a brutal economic recession in Brazil. The venues were barely finished in time, and it was all done amid a presidential impeachment and an outbreak of Zika virus. The Moscow Games in 1980 will be remembered for the Cold War tensions that boiled over concerning Afghanistan. Many athletes were absent after President Jimmy Carter urged an international boycott, and 55 countries sat out the Games. And then there's the economics. The citizens of Montreal still fret about their games in 1976. It nearly bankrupted the city. The Olympic Stadium there is known as the Big O. Just spell it O-W-E. Billions of dollars of taxpayers' debt took 3 decades to pay off. Some say the Olympics have lost their luster for sponsors. There are 2 distinct views on this. Martin Sorrell, formerly of WPP, now with S4, and the Suntory CEO Takeshi Naomini, who you heard from the earlier parts of the programme.
I'm skeptical that the Olympic Games will bring and attract business partners more and more. I don't think so.
There will be some turbulence, if I can put it that way, around Tokyo, and understandably so, given the pandemic. There will be some turbulence around Beijing as well for other reasons too. But I think long term, top sponsors really do get significant value.
Ed Hula is the editor and founder of the Olympics news site Around the Rings. He's in Atlanta, which I'm sure you're not best pleased about to begin with.
Well, right. This is nice that they're finally here, but we've been in such anticipation. It's been a most anxious build-up to these games, and as we were saying, existential threat that they face from coronavirus. Other games have had problems and issues, but nobody's ever talked about canceling or postponing an Olympic Games.
Okay, so if you accept 100,000 people, many billions of dollars, multi-venues, there are going to be crises. London had security, Athens wasn't nearly finished in time, Barcelona had so let's start from the basis that these are not easy to do and there will be problems. You say this was no one's had anything like this before. Do you believe it is proper? It was right and proper to continue, or should they have postponed again if they could?
I think that they should have postponed again if they could. I think the most ideal situation was for them to push the games into 2022. Another year of delay would probably make things a lot easier to handle as far as COVID. But they had such large financial obligations that would be very difficult to carry over for another year of postponement. Facilities that have been rented and fitted out with technology, things that just couldn't sit still for 2 years. This is probably their best option, was to hold it this year with a 1-year delay, and it's still causing all kinds of problems, and I think worst of all, the Japanese people don't want it.
You see, that's interesting, because I remember during Rio, I was the New Year's Eve before down in Rio covering the story, and the Brazilians didn't want it. The Japanese don't want this one for different reasons. But I wonder and the answer has always been once they begin, they'll get caught up. But there's nothing really to get caught up in here, is there?
Well, that's the problem, because the spectators have been told to stay home, and that includes the Japanese, the taxpayers of the country and of the city, who've underwritten the cost of all of these venues and the other extraordinary expenses that come with the games. They've kind of been left out hanging, and the small-scale pageantry like a torch relay or other events, sponsored pavilions around the city, that's not going to be there.
The top medical official has reminded us that there will be breakout infections, that they knew there were going to be breakout infections. Do you think, Ed, it's incumbent upon us, you with Around the Rings, me, Quest Means Business, it's incumbent on us to grow up a bit and remember, you know, there are going to be infections, but they've planned for it?
Oh, they plan for infections. I'm not sure that that's really the case. When they had the Olympic bid 7 years ago for Tokyo, nobody was planning for a coronavirus pandemic in the final year to the games, in the final months to the games. It's just a contingency I don't think that anybody planned for. I mean, with Japan,
sorry. Sorry, what I mean by that, what I mean, Ed, sorry, to clarify, what I mean is that as these games go through, we will hear that this athlete is out because of COVID or that athlete is out of COVID. But the organisers are saying we are ready with plans for that. You know, over the last 12 months, we have put in place plans for there to be outbreaks amongst athletes.
I understand now, but yes, they have set up quarantine procedures, protocols to follow in case that happens. And we already are seeing instances of that with the athletes arriving. And because of these protocols, athletes won't be arriving all at once in Tokyo. Over the next 2 or 3 weeks, they'll be arriving as their events come. So it's possible we may get a steady drip, drip, drip of coronavirus infections tied to Olympic athletes.
Very glad to have you with us today, Ed. You're a veritable font of knowledge on all of this around the rings, and we'll talk to you more as we go through. Many thanks, Ed Hula. And look, the site there in Tokyo at 4 a.m. Daylight is actually coming up 4:40 this morning. Thanks very much, Ed. Now.